Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Morty Smith from Rick and Morty. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself, then get us going. Okay, so I've talked about this. I just did the Rick Sanchez episode video, and I'm going to talk about this here, that I am doing this more realistic style because this is how I draw. Okay, so I corrected myself then, I'll do it here too. It's not so much realistic as, I call this comic book style, because it's not so much real as it is not 100% the way they do it, and it's not real, you know, it's still a little cartoonish looking, but again, that's just how I draw, and that's okay, because what's the name of this channel? That's how I draw. Well, how I draw, but you know what I'm trying to say. So that's where we are. And so I'm kind of putting Morty in a scared position, like he's kind of like hunched over, and I'm gonna have him kind of, his hands are kind of like, oh, you know, because, you know, he's always having to deal with Rick and his crazy adventures, right? All right, and so I'm also thinking about his hairstyle too, and so they have a certain look for it, and though I'm not drawing their look, I want to honor it by kind of creating something that looks close, or what might be a real world aspect to the reason he looks like that, you know. So I think what I'm going to do is draw his hair kind of slick back, you know? Like, that's how I imagine his hair is, so to the back of his head, because he looks almost balding the way his hair is so just back behind him. So I'm just going to imagine that it's slicked back, and that's why it looks the way it does. But also the reason I'm thinking that is because I did Rick Sanchez just now, and I drew his hair kind of, you know, obviously slicked back for that look. So I'm imagining, you know, this is like not family tradition, but it's just emulated. That's the word I'm looking for. That he's kind of doing, this is how they do it in their family. They just slick their hair back. They push it back, you know. So that's what I'm thinking. And again, just trying to come up with like a, you know, this is why he looks this way. Okay, so sorry I got quiet there. Every time I go quiet, it's because I'm thinking and I'm trying to get this to look correct. Come correct, son. Oh, what's the one I came up with while I was drawing Yoda? Like, this works, son. So this is how you work. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. Okay, so let me erase some of this. I'm going to erase a lot more in the end, but I'm erasing some of the lines I definitely don't need so I can make sure it's going in the direction I want it to go in. All right, it's looking good so far. Okay, All right, this looks pretty good. Let me draw some hands in here now. And so his hands, I'm kind of, let's see how I can do this. This is where we have to get creative. I mean, we always have to get creative in this entire thing, right? Because this doesn't exist. This image is something brand new we were doing for the day. It didn't exist before this, and good for us for creating it, you know? We're making something that didn't exist in the world before. And we are the innovators. We are the drawers. We are the artists that get to make the world a better place. Okay. Let's see. I got it kind of. Let's see if I can do this one like that too. It's kind of wonky. The idea is there. The execution is not. Okay. So let me look at myself. See if I was doing like this. Okay. Something like that. Okay, so his hand would be, the knuckles would be like that. Yeah, okay, all right. So that means this hand is going to be like this. I'm going to draw the knuckles like this, knuckle like that, like that. And then I can draw, that's going to go into there, that one's into there, that one's into there. Yeah, this is going to work. Okay. So, we'll draw it in like that. Draw the underside of the hand. The thumb would be up there like that, just like this one. This one's going to be over a little bit more. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I got it. And so this, kids, is why you need to learn anatomy. Because I knew the position I wanted him in. I knew that it was going to be a little tricky. And I knew enough of anatomy that I got it where I wanted it. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I'm ready to go. So I'm going to erase some of these thin lines, some of the sketch lines, and we're sticking with the confidence lines because you never want to follow a sketch. You never want to follow anything sketchy in life. You want to follow with your confidence. And that's how it was while I was sketching. I wasn't confident until as I got more confident, my lines got darker, and that's why I call them the confident lines. All right, I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to, let's do it. I've erased enough. I'm good to go. And I say we welcome everybody that skipped over. The skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portions of the video. All right, so welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun with me. Okay, so I've sketched the entire thing out and I've erased the lighter lines, left some of the darker lines to have something to follow, and I'm going to play around with what I'm doing. I'm making him more of a realistic comic book style in how I draw. Not so much like how Morty looks, but how it would look if I was drawing it, right? Okay, so I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's going to be in here for the fine lines that the fine point can't quite find. And let's see, how about we just start off straight with the eyes and build from there. So I'm going to draw the top of his lids like this, just to see if I've got him in the right position from where I want him to be. Then I'm going to draw the retinas, a little big, and draw the pupils like that, like theirs are, tiny little lines. And I've got them kind of wide-eyed, kind of, not sad. What's the word I'm looking for? Stressed out. That's what it is, because Morty is very stressed out with having to deal with all of Grandpa's adventures. So I'm going to draw just a little bit of a bottom line, not the entire thing. And this is what I do with all mine, that I don't draw the bottom lines because these Sharpies will bleed, and these drawings are so small that it's going to just disappear and start to bleed into itself if I go too crazy. So I have to just keep it very, very light. So let's see. Let's draw him some. Okay, so your eyebrows are very full of expression, and that's how they, indicate what's going on with your life. So he's stressed, surprised, and sad. So they're kind of like this at an angle. So I'm going to do something like this. Worried eyebrows, kind of raised and stressed, So I'm gonna, for his nose, I'm just gonna kind of come in here and do one of these. Let's see how I can fix this. I kind of doesn't look too great. I think that'll work. Something like that. Okay, and let's give him the open Morty mouth. Oh, gee, Rick. All right. I like it. Okay, so what I talked about in the sketch portion too is that the way his hair is, he looks almost balding because it's so far in the back of his head. I think what I'm going to do is make it kind of pushed back. And that's why I think all of their hair is kind of way in the back of their head. It's just kind of slicked back, So I'm going to draw his face here, and I'm giving more of a round, chubby face, and that's how I think they've got a round head. He's a little more heavier in the face. That's how I'm imagining it. Okay, there's his ear. Something like that. This is going to be the back of his neck. And so for his hairline, what I was talking about is I'm going to kind of have it coming down, kind of slicked back and up. Something like this. I'm going to thicken his outer edge just a little bit because I'm going to start to switch over to this Sharpie and it's super thick. So I'm kind of coming up with something that's a little more conservative, well, not conservative, a little more in line with the way that Sharpie looks. Okay, and so this is what I was talking about, how I have his hair kind of slicked back, and this gives me that round, less detailed look that they have. That's how I feel. So I don't know, just thought that's what I would do. So I'm good with that. I'm going to now switch over to the big Sharpie and work my way down, and pretty much it's just clothes on anatomy. So I'm going to draw the shirt collar there, come down here for his shoulder, and he's kind of hunched over, a little freaked out. And I'm going to draw his sleeve like this. And his arms, they're kind of in front of him like this. He's kind of in a worried, he doesn't know what to do position. So bear with me, we're going to have to work our way to them. So I'm going to draw the outside of his arm like this to his elbow. I'm going to draw the inside here, but it's bent and his hand's in. So his wrist is going to kind of come in like this. And I'll connect it right there. And so now I'm going to draw the first hand. And the first hand I kind of have like this. It's just kind of in that position. I'm going to draw a thumb. Just kind of, in front of his chest. Almost like he's ready to grab his heart, because he doesn't know what to do. So his fingers are just kind of wrapped around, and just bear with me. We'll come back and add some detail in a second, like this. Does that make sense? Okay, so now always cap your Sharpie, but for me, I'm about to pick it right back up. So I'm just kind of showing you where we're going. So now I'll add just a little bit of the extra digits, just to give you a little bit more detail of where that hand is, what it's doing. But does that make sense? Does that help you out as to where it is? That line's a little thick, but hey, that's what happens with Sharpies. That's the way the Sharpie draws. Ooh, maybe we got a new tagline here. Okay, and so we'll just draw a little bit of knuckle line, something like that. Not to go too crazy. I'll stop before I start adding a whole bunch. So same thing with his other hand, but it's in front of it. So we're drawing it same hand, just in a different position. So since those knuckles are wrapped around, we're drawing those. Like this. And then this will lead us to the back of the hand. I know that looks weird, but just bear with me. There's the knuckles. To the inside of the hand like that, where the thumb is. Like this. Now, again, I'm going to add a little bit of detail. So this is this part of the knuckle. It's going to come down like that. And there you go. So see, there's the other side of the hand, just the front. You see it now? See the knuckles? The way it's laying in there for the hand? All right, hopefully you do. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to draw what's behind. So we're going to draw his forearm back behind it. So is it now a behind arm? You know, because 4 is in front. It's a joke. It's a dad joke. Behind it like that. Do his bicep, or what he has. Then I can do the edge of the sleeve like this. Bring it up like that. His shirt's coming in here like this. Got some folds in it. Coming down. Let's draw the back side since we're doing that. Kind of over his pants just a little bit. Let's add some life to that shirt. Let's add a few lines. Make it come alive. All right, just something like that. Try not to go too crazy, but I want to. I want to draw a whole bunch of lines because, you know, that's kind of what's going to make this shirt come alive. That shouldn't have gone out. That was an accident, but oh well. All right. Okay. And you know what? His arm, I'm just going to do that just to close it out, just because it was bugging me. I know it's kind of a mess in there now, but hey, we're practicing, right? This is how we get there. So now we're just going to draw his pants. So he's kind of hunched over. So drawing the front of his leg like this to his knee, and come down here to his little high water pants. Add some bends like that. Going to come up here to where his other leg's going to be. And again, I got him super thin. You know, that's what I was talking about in the other one too. That just to honor their animation style. Oops, I've got their digits. You know, not muscular or anything like that. We'll add some detail in those pants in a second. That's super thin, Lou. Let's see if we can do something about that. There we go. Just a little thicker, you know? Okay, so I'm going to draw his ankle down to his shoe. Something like this. Same thing here to the ankle to his shoe. Now, let's add just a little bit of detail, just a little bit of creases and folds, and have a little bit of fun with it, just to make something, you know? And let's see, I'm going to draw his pants in here like this. Again, he's kind of hunched over. We'll kind of see if we can justify that thickness with some other thick lines, just to try to make something here. Okay, that's where his knee would be, which is like that. So let's add just some sock lines. I did this on Rick too. Just, you know, just make it a little dirty. They go on a lot of adventures. Their shoes and socks are a little wrinkled and old. Okay, so there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Morty Smith from Rick and Morty. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.